going across, and this one as well. Does that make some sense to you? And then it asks you to tell you how many squares, so I can count my squares. Yeah? And the same thing here. So now when you're doing this one says measure in centimeters. I'm going to use my centimeter. I'm going to use my centimeter. So here we go. My centimeter looks like so. I'm not using my inch. This was for the inches. Now they want me to use centimeters. So I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to make sure my 0, see how it points right there? So here's a centimeter. Here's a centimeter. Oh, but that 3 is right there. Do you see how I'm finding my columns? That's why I'm doing this with you, because we would be doing this together in the classroom. It's a very difficult concept. It can be a bit challenging. So there's my centimeter columns. Now I'm going to make my centimeter rows. So here I go. I lined it up, making sure it's right there. And look at that. And then I'm going to make 1, 2, 3. And I mark it pretty big. And then I'm going to go all the way across for my rows. Row. There's another row. And there's another row. Do you see what Mrs. Seitz is doing? Centimeter squares. Do you see that? And then I tell you how many squares there are. So I'm going to use centimeters for here and inches for here. All right? So friends, and on this side we talked about columns and that. Friends, the other thing I want to talk to you really quick about is they're asking you to show halves and thirds and fourths. Holy moly, we're talking fractions. Let's talk about that really quick. Halves, thirds, and fourths. Friends, we have done this before in the classroom. You're simply going to take a whole and you're breaking it up into parts. So if Mrs. Seitz had a square and she had to break it up into 2 equal parts, here's my square, which is a very fancy name for a rectangle that has all equal sides. That's why it's called a square. If I had to break it up into halves, I could half it right there. Could I half it here?
Absolutely.
Could I half it here?
Absolutely.
And then I could do it the other way too as well. I could half it here. So friends, I just want you to think about that. When I'm talking about thirds, I'm breaking up the shape into 3 equal parts. Remember, if I have a square or any kind of a shape, this is not equal parts of 3. This is not breaking it up into thirds. This part is not the same as this or this. Remember, when we're talking about fractions, it's equal, equal, equal. Otherwise, it's not a fraction. So friends, it's like going, if you're going to share something equally with your friends, you all want the same amount. That's a fraction. Fractions are equal parts. So if I want to break something up into thirds, here I'll take out my square again. I could break it up there and there. And that's like Mrs. Seitz really tried. That doesn't look equal. Let's try that again. Because this is the hard part when I'm freehanding, guys. Let me try it again. I'm going to try one more time, Uncle Tommy. 3 equal parts. So I don't want to go to the middle. There could be 1. And there could be 2. That's about as equal as I'm trying really hard. Equal, equal, equal. That's me trying really hard. But we'll talk about how you can do it exact. This is the fourths. You know, that would be then 4 equal parts. So friends, we're talking about fractions. And it's going to be you having some fun with that. That's my traditional 4 equal parts, right? That's your traditional. But there are lots of ways if you're looking at a object like this, all different ways to make into 4 equal parts. I'm hoping you guys will find some of them like, how was that one? Oh yeah, I'm doing it. Do you see my 4 equal parts? It's crazy. I don't want to show off right now. All right. So, friends, this kind of work today is asking you to think about different ways of showing that. I want you to be really understanding. Now, let's look at this. Can Tommy bring this in really quick, Uncle Tommy? It says 2 halves. Now, here's my deal. Can you see how you could break this up into 2 equal parts? Remember, halves are 2 equal parts. Thirds are 3 equal parts. Fourths are 4 equal parts. When we're talking about fractions, we're talking about equal shares, or the word is equal parts. Have fun with lessons 1 and 2. Again, use the tools Mrs. Seitz has sent you from school. And you know what? You could even use your math grid to help you with some things. This is a really helpful tool as well. If you're looking to make an array and thinking, how can I show my understanding? This is a great way to look of rows and columns. Guys, I want you to do your best. I miss you. Listen, Math Monster! Math Monster! Math Monster! There we go. We can do this, guys. We can do this. We like the challenge. Remember, you want to practice what you want to get good at. So thank you for your effort. Remember about these types of things. Do your best. I will see you soon. Mathematicians!
That's me.
That is you. See you later.